everybody just gathered around and they were like, that's the guy.
Someday, this entire American continent will be ours.
Why do your people have so much hunger to kill?
What made you excited to work on American Primeval?
I'm a bit of a history major in university, so I'd heard of Brigham Young for sure. I knew Brigham Young University and Joseph Smith, but I didn't know really about the gold plates that Joseph Smith found in the hills of Pennsylvania, and then he dies in Illinois and in jail, and Brigham Young and the 11 other apostles all had to put their little string in the ring and had to give their speech as to why they should be the new prophet, and Brigham Young won that. And he saved the entire religion, and he moved them all the way to Utah. And this story takes place right in there. And what happens in this Mountain Meadows Massacre.
Now, Peter, what was it about Kim that made him your Brigham Young?
I just saw a picture of him. I was trying to find a Brigham Young, and someone showed me a picture of Kim from Sons of Anarchy. And I'm like, well, he looks good. Would he audition? I'll never forget the audition. He went out into like a cornfield and got himself all dressed up like Brigham Young and just did this self-tape audition that was mesmerizing. It happens every once in a while. There's like, because you see so many auditions when you're doing a movie or a big show like this, especially a show like this, hundreds of actors, and it can be kind of brain numbing. And this, every once in a while, one pops, everybody just gathered around and they were like, that's the guy.
It's pretty true to life. And I just got excited about everything. I was a little like, wow, Brigham Young, this is going to be, I'm playing a real guy, especially Brigham Young. That's not an everyday happening. So for me to dive in and not be afraid to fail was a cool thing for me. The writing was spectacular. It's Peter Berg, who I'd never worked with before, but been such a fan. Jacques, the DP from Paris. I mean, his work has been incredibly exciting.
What goes into making Brigham Young like a real historical character, especially a controversial one, your own?
From doing all the research and reading as much as I could read and talking to this lovely pair of Mormons who happen to be a friend of mine about their religion, I asked them questions. They didn't have to answer all of them if they didn't want to, but they were very honest with me. That Book of Mormon, which is it's a smaller than a Bible size, I carried that with me every day. I tried to just surround myself in faith, because the Mormons in 1857, they were being persecuted. There's no question about it. Brigham Young was the first hand of God. He was the leader. So things did go through him. And so there's decisions that have to be made, deals that have to be done. And Brigham Young was involved in all of it, the whole thing. So win or lose, and he refused to lose at that time. And I don't think he really did lose, even though there was many a death and many questions raised as to what triggers he was pushing for this whole Mountain Meadows Massacre event.
What does collaboration look like with Peter and with your other castmates on a production like this?
What was so wild for me, and this does happen, where there's 6 storylines or 10 storylines or 3 storylines. All my stuff was with Shea Wiggum and my Mormon team, who were amazing with acting with me. But the collaboration with Peter was just amazing. He was just a bundle full of energy, and him and his dog would arrive every morning ready to go, and we were all ready to go. And the weather was iffy here and there, and there was wind some days where the horses would freak out and we'd have to pack it in for a day because the wind was just too ferocious. But we were in the elements, Teresa. There was no sound stages, no CGI. This was the real deal. You saw it. It was really palpable. You could feel it and smell it. And I'm really, really happy to have been with Peter Berg and all my castmates on this one.
Yeah, he's special.
Got those great eyes for it.
And a great nose. He's got the nose.